Hi, my name's Rob. We're here to talk about compost toilets. This is one that we've built recently. It's not the only way of building it, but it is a way of building it. Would you like to come and see inside? Hi, my name's Rob. I'm talking today about compost toilets. This is one we've built recently. Really important because what we do with our waste is essential. Normally it gets taken away on a tanker. We're in the middle of the countryside here. Okay, we're now inside the compost toilet. Now, this thing comprises of two sections. There's the top part and the bottom part. The top part, as you can see, is quite elaborate on this one. We've used chestnut, we've used cob, we've used larch and cedar. It's very, very complicated structure, but it doesn't have to be like that at all. A compost toilet can just be a shed. What's really important is what goes on down below, and that's what we're going to look at now. Okay, we're going to have a look at the urine separation in here because it's one of the most important parts of this compost toilet. These seats were designed and constructed here by Lloyd. Now, they have a curve on the front of it. Not only does that look lovely, but it allows for the curved urine separator to be installed. Let me show you inside. There is a curved plate inside the toilet. As the urine hits that, it runs down and drips here. And it drips into a gutter that I'm going to show you in a minute. So here we can see both sections of the building. As I mentioned before, the top section can be anything like a shed, but it's the bottom section where the real business happens, and we're going to have a look inside. So this compost toilet hasn't been used yet. We haven't even opened it, so this is why it's okay to walk in there, because it's not going to be used till tomorrow. So the gutters are collecting from that urine separator. It drops into this gutter here, and it runs through the building, and it runs over to the urine tank over there. Okay, so this compost toilet's got two main chambers. The reason we have that is because this one's going to get used first. We'll fill this one up. It'll probably take about a year and a half. At that point, we will swap over to this chamber here, where we'll swap the toilet seats over and the walls, and that will be used. In the meantime, the old chamber is composting, and it will take about a year and a half to compost. When this one's full, we'll come back to the original one and remove all of the compost and take it to a fruit tree or some piece of land we want to fertilise. I think the biggest value with the compost toilet is, firstly, it saves a lot of water, but it also saves a lot of energy, just infrastructure-wise, needing to, if you live in a city, transport it away from you and treat it, or if you live in the countryside, lorries turning up to take it away. It's just that huge saving in energy and time and effort. You know, you're just processing the waste on site. The compost is not handled until it's been fully rotted. So what will happen is we'll use one of those chambers for 1 year, then we shut it down, and then we move over to the chamber next to it, and in the meantime that chamber is composting, and we don't have to return to the original chamber for a year, maybe a year and a half. By that point it's making a beautiful compost anyhow, so it doesn't smell. There's very low risk. As long as you handle it and then wash your hands afterwards, there's very little risk with it. We don't tend to put it on vegetables. It tends to go on trees and things, so not things that directly contact the compost. It just goes around the base of a fruit tree or something. So I'm going to take you over to the urine separation tank to show you how this works. We have a point here where you can take urine out if you want to fill a bucket with urine, there. And we have a point here which is an overflow that runs to the garden, and there's a pipe that runs down to the bottom of the garden to the compost heaps, where the urine can be put on the tree or on the compost heap to help composting. So in the chamber underneath the compost toilet, it's mixed with straw, it's mixed with sawdust, and after a year it comes out like a compost. It doesn't look like human waste. It's had worms in there, and the worms have been working away at it, and then we transport it by wheelbarrow to the nearest tree and put it under a fruit tree. Nice bit of compost here. Worms. So this is where our story of the urine ends. It comes out of here, This is the flexible pipe I was talking about. Now we can fit a hose to this, and if we wanted to, we could put it under the apple tree for a few days, or we could put it on top of the compost heap and leave it for 24 hours and shift it a foot and leave it for 24 hours, or we could put it over by some vegetables or something like that, whatever we wanted. Well, my message to people who thinking about putting in a toilet in a bit of land or something is look at the cost of doing it the traditional way, and then look at the cost of building a compost toilet and the benefits that you can reap from that. Even a sophisticated toilet may cost even £1,000 at maximum, but installing a sewage line, installing a septic tank, paying for septic tank lorries to turn up to take the waste away, will cost a lot of money, and you'll probably get your payback within 2 years of installing the toilet.